Welcome to the Hangout sessions. And I'm just here watching Spurs against Southampton, currently 1-0 to Spurs. And as an Arsenal fan, I just wanted to talk about how and why Spurs have progressed so much within the last 10 years to the point where they're about to finish above Arsenal for the first time in God knows how long. I'm sure if you're listening and you're a Spurs fan, you'll know when that was. As an Arsenal fan, I have no idea when that was. Anyway, I think if we go back to the 05-06 season, I think that was the first time as an Arsenal fan I ever felt threatened by Spurs directly. I'm 25 years old, so my childhood involved beating Spurs every season. Like, minimum would draw, but we beat Spurs. That's what we do. And that was the first season I looked at them and thought, wow, this team could finish above us. And it was confusing for me because I was a kid then. So unfortunately, they didn't get a top four finish. And luckily, Arsenal finished above Spurs that season. God knows how, Lasagna Gate. But that 05, 06, 06, 07 Yol era was decent for Spurs. And that was the first time in my lifetime that I'd seen them as a threat. After that, we had the one day Ramos era. Not as good. Didn't really work. They tried to get him in, and he tried to get things going. And maybe there was a language barrier problem there. I don't really remember. Believe it or not, Arsenal fans aren't too wrapped up into what Spurs are doing that much. We sing about you a lot, but I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. I just remember probably pulling my hair out at what Arsenal were doing at that time. Anyway, what was the season I just mentioned? I think after that, we had a kind of a we had a red nap, like revival, we could call it. Like, I think that's the 09-10 season. I think that was Redknapp's first. I know I skipped through the Ramos era, but I can't really remember it, to be honest. Yeah, that was Redknapp's first full season and fourth in the league, FA Cup semi-final, Defoe on fire. I remember that again because it was like that was a threat, you know, and I like it just sticks out. It really sticks out that season, and I respected Redknapp a lot. I'm not going to say I liked him, but I respected what he did there. He had a team of players that wanted to play for him, and mate, Defoe, that's probably, would I say that was the best season we've ever seen Defoe? He just keeps doing it, doesn't he, Jermaine Defoe? Always respected him as well. But yeah, the season after that, I think Redknapp was still there. Redknapp was there from I think 08 to 2012. He had a long stint there in terms of like Spurs time. But yeah, 11-12, I think, no, 10-11, I think we're up to. Champions League quarterfinal, that's what sticks out for me. I think they got further than Arsenal that season, or at least to the same point. So, yeah. 11-12. I think the 10-11 and the 11-12 seasons, we really saw the star in Bale. Like, something switched on. And I hated him. I really hated him because I could see he was on his way to being world class, and it was horrible. Like, seeing Spurs have a player that was developing to be that good. I think that season Spurs missed out fourth by a point. But I remember they beat Arsenal that season. I think Kyle Walker scored in the game. Not too sure. Can't really remember. Side note, that was the first 5-2 from Arsenal when Spurs went to the Emirates and got hammered. Got to stick that in there. The next season, AVB's first season. I don't know if it's his first full season. I can't really remember. I mean, maybe I should have did my research before doing this, but it's mainly driven by emotion, really, because they're catching up. They're catching up. Yeah. 12-13 season, I remember hating Gareth Bale. He was doing bits all season, like madness. We saw the second 5-2 that season. I think Spurs beat Arsenal again that season, you know? So, yeah, I could see things changing. It wasn't pure dominance. They were taking us all the way now. And I think I can't really remember that season. Third year of uni for me. So I'd have been focused on that a little bit. But yeah, I think Arsenal would have snuck it. Yeah, snuck it again off Spurs in like the last few games of the season, which is some would say if Spurs had finished ahead of Arsenal that season, we'd see a whole different situation at Arsenal by now, you know? But yeah, I remember the 13-14 season for Spurs because it was a write-off in many ways. They finished sixth, not awful, but they would have been looking to progress. They largely wasted the Bale money, but in terms of trying to move forward as a football club and as a team, they took gambles. They paid the big money, didn't quite work out. But in hindsight, I have to respect it. At the time, I was clowning the whole situation because their best player just left. They were never going to replace him and they wasted the money. So at the time, everyone was laughing. But honestly, looking back on it, I have to respect it because they made strides and effort to move forward. You know, not just as a business, but as a football club on the pitch, and it didn't quite work out. Next season, we have Pochettino in his first full season in a 14-15 season, and it was Harry Kane's breakout season. We saw all of a sudden, I know Kane played the season before, I think in Europe here and there, but we saw this young English striker emerge. And really, again, Spurs should have finished above Arsenal that season. Inconsistency ruined their chances of doing that. In fact, that was the season, I think, where the Arsenal fans found old pictures of Harry Kane celebrating the Invincibles. And yeah, yeah, we really like shoved it in their face heading up to the derby at White Hart Lane. And I remember going to that game. That was my first ever North London derby at White Hart Lane. And oh God, Harry Kane threw it right back in our faces by scoring a brace. And I think he's one of our own is still ringing in my ears from that day, like 2 years later. Now we move to last season. And last season, Pochettino again, he's now used to the Premier League. He's got my respect fully, by the way. This is now his team. He's stamping his footprints on that team. He's got it. He's got good players. He's got them playing his way. I will never ever know how they capitulated at Newcastle away on that last day to get smashed like that. Wow. I mean, on the day, I remember laughing because I was watching it with my mate who's a Spurs fan. He was watching the Spurs game. I was watching the Arsenal game. We were both tense. There was banter getting exchanged. But when I started seeing when I started seeing Newcastle just catching them on a break like that, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I was throwing banter. And I remember my friends, some of my friends who are Arsenal fans saying this isn't even good. It's not even a good thing that we're doing that Spurs ain't finishing above us. And I remember going, oh, it's St. Tottenham's Day. Oh, like, because I just wanted to lord it over them. Like, we had nothing to like shout about. But yeah, um, yeah, probably wasn't a good thing that Arsenal finished above Spurs that season because this season, Arsenal went into the season and made the same mistakes with the same attitude, playing the same boring sideways football. And Spurs have just got better. Spurs gutted to miss out on a league last season. Probably should have won a league last season. Not so good this season. Chelsea are back this year, but these are forward steps. Spurs have not moved backwards from last season at all. And you know what? It's been 10 years of consistently trying to become a better football team. I used to laugh at Daniel Levy for like going through managers like the way he did, but you know what? He's found one now, and he showed it's not just about business; it's about becoming a good football team as well, being respected. They're moving out of White Hart Lane next door to a bigger stadium. They got Wembley next season, 75,000, 90,000 in the Champions League. Like, they're moving forward. A lot of people say Arsenal have stagnated. I'd say Arsenal have regressed and Spurs have moved forward. So if someone's moving backwards and you're moving forwards, it's inevitable you're going to catch up. What I will say is it's going to take a while for Spurs to ever claim to be the bigger club than Arsenal, because the history at Arsenal is way too rich for that. But right now, right now, they're catching up. If Spurs are to win the FA Cup this season and finish above Arsenal, Spurs nearly just conceded. Oh, it was offside. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, if Spurs win something this season and finish above Arsenal, that's level for me, and I can't even deny that they're not level now. And a lot of Arsenal fans have allowed this to happen, really. So next time you're singing about Spurs, instead of making a stand against Arsenal for letting this happen, just let some of these thoughts marinate through your mind. Anyway, that's me over here at the Hangout Sessions. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, yeah? Subscribe to us on YouTube. Go and find us on SoundCloud. We're everywhere now, yeah? So just support us, spread it. Big up all the Spurs fans and Arsenal fans if you're listening, or just general if you're a football fan. That's just my thoughts. Let me know if you agree, disagree, fill in any gaps of my knowledge. I don't claim to know everything. I didn't do any research before this. I just felt that way, and I'm watching Spurs right now.